Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Homestand TV. I am your host, Celine Shamarky, alongside my co-host, Justin Pooney. Before we get into the show today, Justin, how was your weekend?
A lot of football,
That's football.
a lot of alcohol, a lot of Canucks drama, but we'll talk about that.
It's a great combination.
It's a great triple threat right there.
Well, we'll add one more to that. The Toronto Maple Leafs ended up losing on Saturday to our rivals, the Montreal Canadiens. We can't seem to win against this team this year. We lost in overtime too. They blew the lead 2-0, and then Montreal came back and tied it up overtime. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm just actually so embarrassed by that whole game. I can't believe we lost. We always seem to lose against teams we should be winning. Arizona as well. So Justin, what did you and inconsistency too with this team? Like you were mentioning, they win some, they lose some. Like they can't keep one straight row going.
And look, I think the Leafs pretty much locked into second in the Atlantic Division. You're not going to catch Boston, and Tampa is probably not going to catch up to you. But the inconsistencies are worrisome, right? And also blown leads. Yes. This was a game where the Leafs got up to a super hot start. 2 goals right away in the first period. And then the offense kind of went dry. They kind of let their foot off the gas pedal. Montreal kind of came back into it. And then that overtime goal, what was John Tavares doing there? Nothing, right? So I'm not worried with the Leafs. I'm not worried with the Leafs, but it's starting to get kind of stale, or they've hit that kind of that point where, there's no added motivation. You don't see that bite, that not animosity, but just that drive on a nightly basis. And I get it. It's the middle of January. It's cold outside. It's been snowing. Nobody's seen the sun in days, right?
Excuses.
Blame it on the weather, right? But the Leafs coming up to the trade deadline, what are they going to do, right? What's going to happen? Are they, talks about Timo Meier, right? Potentially coming to Toronto. He's got 26 goals this year that will shake up the top 6. But when I look at Timo Meier and these names that can be thrown around, what do you got to give up? Speaking on Timo Meier, $6 million cap hit a year. You have to probably give up a couple firsts, a second or a third. So when I look at the Leafs, bad loss on Saturday. Doesn't mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things, but what's worrisome is the trend they're on. If you look at basically the entire month of January, it's been you win 2, lose 2, like you said, win 1, lose 1. So I want to see this team just play a complete game. They haven't played a really complete 60-minute game of hockey in a while where they've looked dominant for 60 straight minutes.
They've been very inconsistent throughout most of their games this season. And I mean, 2-0, like you were saying, they always blow the leads. I say this, I think, every single show. That's what I swear they're known for doing, because to me, this is my personal, they get too comfortable. You can see there's just no drive to we got this in the bag, like 2 goals. They're not going to come back. It's Montreal, whatever. Montreal just beat Winnipeg, and they beat the New York Rangers. Like, Montreal, I'm sorry. This is a team that presses, and you got to keep going at it, and you can't just stop. And
you also have to realize Montreal is in the middle of a rebuild right now too. They're rebuilding, retooling with young players and stuff like that.
Without Cole Caulfield.
Without Cole Caulfield, exactly. And they still came back winning. And Sheldon Keefe said full credit to Montreal for winning that game. I think the Leafs kind of lost that game more than Montreal should have won. I mean, you're up 2-0. That's when you keep on going and you basically bury them early, and then you can roll 4 lines and just play the string out. But I'm interested to see what the Leafs will do. Goaltending, it's been up and down, and then just the consistent plays. So there's still time to turn around. The sky's not falling, don't worry. But there are some concerns in Leafland right now.
There's lots of concerns. Well, the Leafs will be back in action to take on the New York Islanders. Now, Justin, let's get to your team.
Oh, boy.
Honestly, it was hard to witness what went down, especially with Bruce Boudreau. But now he got replaced because he ended up getting fired. He got replaced by Rick Tocchet. Justin, what's your whole opinion on this? I mean, I know last week you exploded. He went off
I did.
Last week. Do we still have that fire in you today? Or are you kind of like more relaxed?
I'm not relaxed, Celine. I'm more just like...
annoyed?
Just sad.
Disappointed?
Just sad.
That's fair enough.
We saw the games on Friday. Bruce Boudreau's like, I don't know why maybe I'm still around because we're playing Chicago, play some bottom feeder teams after, and they're just keeping me around for the next regime. But they obviously let him go on Sunday morning. It's just sad that this team is just the biggest joke in the NHL. And I said it last week and I'll say it again. The Vancouver Canucks are the biggest joke in the NHL. They're the biggest soap opera, the most drama-filled team, the most drama-filled organization. And people want to say it's the media's fault, which the Vancouver media does play a part in it too, because they are very negative. But the onus falls on the product on the ice, right? And the Canucks, the last couple games, 3 straight losses, they just look, they don't care.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it's going to do. The playoffs are pretty much done. There's no chance of the playoffs anymore. You bring Rick Tocchet in, who came in yesterday and said, we're not going to play river hockey. We want to play more structure. Of course, Tocchet has ties with Jim Rutherford and Patrick Alvin from their time in Pittsburgh, where Tocchet was an assistant coach. Celine, I don't know what the hell's going to happen. I have no idea. Yeah, you saw Bruce Boudreau almost cry.
I know, that was sad to witness. That was sad to see.
Right? Like, that's... To see what the Canucks put Bruce Boudreau through was bad. And also, it looks bad on the organization, right? Like, now, if I'm a player, if I'm a free agent, if I'm anybody remotely interested, why would I want to go to Vancouver? If this is how they treat their coaches, if this is what happens, why would I want to play there? Right? Unless you overpay me, it makes you offer me way more than anybody else. But the thing is, the Canucks have guys in their payroll right now that they're paying way too much they shouldn't be offered. So, look, I don't know. Like, I'm at a loss for words for this team. I have no idea what to say.
Well, hopefully things will turn around eventually.
It's bad.
At least.
And you thought last year when they brought Bruce Boudreau in, it was rock bottom. But this is worse than rock bottom. This is hell. Canucks are in hell right now.
Damn, Justin. Heavy with the words.
Yeah.
Heavy with the words. Well, the team's 18-25-3 right now. Most likely not going to be making playoffs.
No.
But there's next year. Maybe we'll see what happens during the offseason, see if they can turn things around. And hopefully your team can get the wheels going again.
I don't know. Celine, I don't know. You can tell by my voice I'm very upset.
Yeah, we can all tell. Well, a team that does have their wheels rolling. That was a good transition, wasn't it?
Great one. Great segue.
Thank
Unlike
you.
the Canucks, that was a good segue.
The Edmonton Oilers. So they are on a heater. I mean, they won 6 straight games in a row. They're playing very consistent, especially even against big teams like Seattle and Vegas.
And Tampa?
Yeah, and Tampa as well. Do you think this consistency is going to last, into the playoffs? Do you think it's just kind of a hot streak they're on right now?
I think, Jack Campbell's playing a lot better, and of course...
But can he stay healthy?
That's the question.
That's the big thing.
Evander Kane is back now, which is a massive re-addition for them, because you know that he's kind of like... He's like kind of like one of the engines of the team that can, really take on the scoring load. Man, what can we say about Connor McDavid?
Dude,
88 points.
He's unbelievable.
88 points.
Yeah.
In 48 games, right?
And we're not even done the season yet.
We're in January.
It's the end of January.
Literally, what's the date? January 23rd?
Yes.
So there is a chance by the end of this month, he could be nearing 90 to 95 points, almost 100 points.
Easy.
And I think Draisaitl's got 70-plus points. Nugent Hopkins, they got three of their players are in the top 12 NHL scoring. Zach Hyman has the same amount of points as Austin Matthews. It's
pretty wild.
Right?
That's pretty wild.
And I think with the Oilers was the biggest was, can they get healthy? And once they get healthy, can they get on a roll? Because when this team is rolling, I picked them to win the Stanley Cup for a reason. Because they have 2 guys that are the 2 best players in the NHL. The guy who is the best player in the NHL is head and shoulders above the rest. Right? And I think the Edmonton Oilers, if they could stay healthy, and if they're probably going to make a move to the deadline to add another depth piece, whether that's on their bottom 6 or their defense core. If they keep on going, they can. Seattle's had a great story so far, LA, all of that, but if Edmonton keeps on rolling, they could get up there with Vegas and potentially get #1 spot in the Pacific, and that's no team anybody wants to play.
I give full credit to Edmonton. I mean, they have tons of offensive power, especially with Connor McDavid. But it's still with me, it's the goaltending. We've seen Campbell, how inconsistent he can be and how injury prone he is, especially with his time with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So it's can he stay healthy? And if he can stay healthy, then I can totally see them gunning for the cup.
But they have Stuart Skinner as well, who's better playing at an all-star level this year. So
they do.
If Campbell regresses and falls back, well, they still have Stuart Skinner, who's playing very well this year. So maybe having this tandem might be beneficial to them, because now they have 2 goalies that they can I don't know about Campbell, they can trust. So I think the Oilers, if they're rolling and Evander Kane comes back and he's rolling too, watch out. watch out, because it's going to be a show every night when Connor McDavid comes to your town. And it's not going to be pretty right now the way they're playing.
Well, last year was pretty interesting to see how far the Edmonton Oilers made it,
And
though.
yeah.
This year, and it would be nice to see a Canadian team win the Stanley Cup. Honestly, I'm fine with any Canadian team.
Okay.
Just please win the Stanley Cup. Not Montreal, though. I will probably cry.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
I will probably cry. That's not gonna happen,
So
though,
sorry,
Justin.
you regret. So not any.
Not any
Canadian
team. Not the
any-
Montreal
okay.
Canadiens. I take that back.
Okay.
Anyways, thank you all for joining us today on the Homestand TV. I'm your host, Celine Chamarki, alongside my co-host, Justin Pooney. We will see you back here on Wednesday.